Listen, we are back. Make sure you like this video as you are coming in. Make sure you like it. Thank you. What is up, y'all? It's your girl, Brand New. And honey, I am back in the building. Listen. And this time, honey, I am back to talk about Martell lied to Melody about being out of the country. So, yeah. See, I knew it was more to the story of Martell working with Stormmy and Lala. Okay, and Lala, you didn't think enough of yourself to look this man up. Okay? You didn't think enough of yourself to look at his reputation, to look at his credibility. He's a liar, cheater, deceiver, and heartbreaker. Okay? I still can't get over that. And Stormmy, you got enough money. You have enough money to where you could have got somebody better. Hell, how about get Lorenz Tate on there or somebody, look, with a proven track record, honey. There were other people she could have got. What about Kevin on stage? What's his name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. The comedian. He's married. Talk to people that are in marriages or relationships. I think that you will have a better outcome because at least with them, they're in something and they can speak, to the present moment of having a relationship or having a marriage. But hell, you could have talked to somebody, single too, but I feel like with men, you need them like with somebody. Okay. You know who she could have got? It's a lot of people she could have got. Okay. Hell, I like, Tony Gaskins. He would have been a good one. He would have been a real good one. Maybe, I don't know, if she could afford Tony, but Tony is good. Stefan Speaks. He's single, I believe. Y'all put in the comments, or does he have somebody? But he's a very good speaker. There were so many other people that she could have picked out, hell, YouTubers, that would have had some better shiggity to say besides Martell. They could have added more to the conversation, because how are you sitting up talking to a cheater, somebody that lied to their ex-wife, had a baby on her, okay, had her arguing with a side chick? That's not somebody that respects women. So, yeah, I feel like the lie, it lost credibility and it made people lose respect for Stormmy. And I think it, not just because the people love Melody. It's just when people see you align your brand with somebody like Martell and you didn't have to, I just feel like that makes people side eye you. Like, what's going on with you? Okay, because you have enough coins. You got a lot of money. That's why I be telling y'all about some of these celebrities. Like Evelyn and Shanice. Y'all got money. There's no reason why you can't attract a healthy man. You could put yourself in those rooms. Okay? You could go to fundraisers, charity events. Shout out to Latifah, honey. I don't know. That's just me. But I knew. I couldn't put my finger on it, you guys, but I knew it was more to this conversation as it pertains to Melody. But yeah, he had told Melody he was going to be out of the country. He couldn't get the kids. Why are we surprised by that? Okay. Well, and he the main one that be trying to say, well, Melody don't want to be with her kids. She always working. And then when you got some shit to do, it's a different story. It's the double standards for me. But I digress, honey. Okay. Let's see what some people think about this. So one person says, We need to call a spade a spade. Martell just don't have that much use for his kids since he can no longer use them. Yeah, he always used them as a weapon to punish and to control Melody. Okay? Another person says Stormy told Martell he was a good man. Did she tell him that? Somebody even said that she should have invited Marceau. I don't think so. And Stormy don't like Marceau. Rightfully so. Oh, she really hates Mel to play with her business. Yeah. I was like, yeah, this was a desperate attempt, honey. But it didn't land. It didn't land the right way, honey. You never win when you play dirty. Another person says, I always said Stormy wanted what Mel had. It's not always about money. Some things you can't buy. Yeah. Okay, you can pay for school, but you can't buy class, honey. You better say it. Okay. Another person says Stormy is going to keep playing and she's going to mess up her business. She's very childish. As soon as I seen him and Lala, I clicked off the site. Another person says Stormy used Martell for eye candy, but I'm sure Carlos played a role. Every time Mel have a 24-hour prayer, Mel said the demons will appear. And here they are. I know that's right. That is so funny. Yeah, something ain't clean in the buttermilk. And is Martell close to Courtney? Didn't Courtney say he knew Martell before the show? Or was it Martell's brother? Was he closer to him? That's the same thing with Trisha. It's so weird. She was like, yeah, I know more of his brother than him. But then as it turns out, she ended up going to Martell's home. It's like, do y'all know this man or not? Don't nobody want to claim him. Look, I don't blame them. Okay? Another person says, I don't mean no harm, but I think people are giving Lala too much credit. There's a huge possibility that she knew exactly who Martell was and the whole dynamic between him, Stormy, and Mel. I saw Lala on a show recently and was disgusted with her decision to work with Stormy and promote that brand. I'm not going to say Lala wasn't aware. She could be a male hater like the rest of Stormy's fan base. This is an entire scheme that she set up to get at Melody. Those people are so mad and pressed when it comes to Mel, and she's not even in their presence, but yet she's constantly on all their minds. You always on my mind. You remember that from SWV? That was my shit, honey. I'm going to have to listen to that today. Listen. Okay. Ciao. And then you gotta think Stormy has the new show, Bell Collective, Birmingham, coming out, which she's starring in. I wonder, is she filming for that? She could be, using all of this, as brand promotion, but it falls flat when you add hook-headed, okay? Hook-headed, hote to it, hotel hote, homo hote. Okay, it just falls flat when he is around, okay? And Martell, you didn't have to lie to kick it. Just tell Melody the truth, okay? Tell her Stormy is paying you for a gig. You trying to work, you trying to provide for the kids. But no, you want it to be sneaky, honey, okay? You want it to be sneaky because you knew you was up to no good. Okay, y'all, let's shake up on and get the hell on. Let's get to this interview with Toya Bush Harris and Eugene Harris down to the Carlos King. Let's talk about Toya's part first. She weighed in on Jackie and Simone's friendship. She doesn't feel like Jackie is a good friend to Simone. I will say this. I don't feel like Simone is all that good of a friend to Jackie. Most people don't address that because they have a, hatred for Jackie because she throws rocks and hides her hands. I understand a little bit of that objectively, but y'all gotta point the blame on the blamee, which is Simone. She's childish. She's petty. She loves taking a stance with women, but you can't even get the niggas in your household under control. You don't even have any boundaries with them, but yet you go flinging your damn hand, moving, I guess, Heavenly's arm away or hand away, from taking a picture with you. You had boundaries with that. You don't have it with Cecil, though. You don't have it with the boys. You still over there being a sugar mama, okay, letting Michael run up a $60,000 credit card bill. Everybody on this show allows Simone to run amok, and I'm sick of it. I am. They all do it. Toya did it throughout this whole entire interview. Oh, I don't think that, Simone was wrong. She didn't want to take a picture with Heavenly. That's fine, not wanting to take a picture, but stop making it. I hate when they get caught up on one thing on these shows when we see for most of the fucking season that Simone takes no accountability for her behavior. Blaming Heavenly for calling you unhinged. You don't think you are, ma'am? All that yelling and screaming? Why do you think Carlos King calls you surround sound Simone? Because, bitch, you're loud. Because you want to be heard. Her and Toya got the same fucking problem. They both want to be heard. They both interrupt a lot. Go back and watch that interview they did with Carlos. All they did was interrupt each other. And they look silly. And their niggas got more views than they got, and they on the damn show. Make it make sense. Toya said about Jackie that I want lemon squeeze Jackie back. Girl, ain't nobody gonna be the same way they was season 1. According to the audience of Married to Medicine, they liked you more in the beginning. They felt like you were down to earth. Toya is very snooty, very uppity. She mentioned something about, well, it's fake though, right? Because we know she tries to overcompensate for being insecure. That's why they're always moving and spending all this fucking money. Okay? But she tried to make some comment about, Quad got us pajamas from Walmart. I mean, it could have been Target. Bitch, shut up. Okay? Shut up. You ain't supposed to even be at Target. But she lacks self-awareness. Okay? I know I saw some people saying that, like, girl, you ain't, because of what's kind of going on at Target, you probably shouldn't be there like that. I mean, I'm just saying. Listen, but she's out of touch. That's why she needs to shut the fuck up when it comes to Heavenly's campaign. Because, bitch, you ain't put in on this, man. You don't care about health care, making sure everybody got health care, making sure everybody, can get food stamps that need them, that can, get these student loans. That way these children can go to college and be productive adults. You don't care about none of that. You just want to buy a new house. Have parties for Birkins, you weirdo. Okay? But then you want to scream and yell at Heavenly about nothing. Because you don't have no damn storyline. Your storyline is the same every season. You being superficial. Okay? And Andy, I don't think she should have got first chair. Because it looked like her and Quad got first chair. I don't think they should. Heavenly should fucking have it. Because you have no show without Heavenly. Heavenly said something very poignant with her live she did with Carlos King. Where they were talking about Married to Medicine. Heavenly says that Simone and Toya are really mad at her because they are afraid that she's going to leave the show. And then guess what? If she leaves the show might not get pick back up, and who gonna pay for this $3 million house? And how is Simone gonna keep taking care of her freeloading ass boys in Cecil? That's what they mad at. And I agree with that. Because we know folks will act a fool over some money, especially Toya. Okay? Also, during the interview, I took a notice of Toya. She kept talking about, yeah, I want to impress my pastor's wife. My pastor's wife this, and my pastor's wife says that she wants everybody to see the person she sees in me. How about the person that she sees in you? It doesn't exist to us because you don't demonstrate whatever behavior she's talking about because it's not genuine, it's not real, it's authentic. Toya, you are fake, you are flaky, and you fall flat. Then you set up on one breath, and I'm glad somebody fucking caught it where, and I told y'all in my last video, oh, well, Quad, I'm not, when it come to Quad, I'm not go unfollow King. But before that, Quad just, prayed with me when it came to my dad. He's in the hospital. Me and Quad, we're cool. I'm a friend of Quad's too. Because he kept bringing up Heavenly and Quad and how they are really close. She didn't like that. But I'm a friend. She said it a couple of times. Go back and watch. I'm a friend of Quad's. And as soon as a fucking dick was involved, King, and he out here disrespecting Quad, okay? Because I think you should take a stance, whether you're all the way friends with somebody or not. If y'all are really repairing your relationship, it's going in the right direction, I think you should take a stance, especially since King is out here being nasty and snippy with Quad. But knowing Toya's sneaky ass, she's going to keep King in her back pocket to weaponize against Quad and find out information. And trust me, I could see where this is going. She's keeping that man around for a reason. Not because she likes him, okay? Or she cares about his relationship with Quad. It's to get information out of him. That way, if Quad slips up again. Toya is just like Simone. They're very jealous of Quad. They are. They're jealous that she could stand on her own 2 feet, and they can't. They can't get away from they niggas, especially Simone. Okay, and Toya does not like Quad's confidence. Go back and watch season 8, how Quad got up and was hosting the town hall meeting, and Toya is very insecure. She had to take a shot at Quad. Well, what are you doing? And don't you need to practice? And Quad was like, no, bitch, I do this. I know how to speak. I know how to gather information and get people's opinions. And Toya began looking up at the clouds, insecure. She don't have that energy, that vibe that Quad has. She's jealous. She tries to say things like, oh, well, Quad is so full of herself, and she pats herself on the back. But all the while, it's like that person that they hate you, but their hate for you is really like admiration because they lack in the areas that you thrive in. So, yeah, that's what I see with Toya. She's a big-ass hater. She would never be my friend. I think Quad is just befriending her as a security blanket of kind of not being thrown off the show because she knows that's the first thing her and Simone are gonna do. Because they want that girl off, especially Toya. As soon as Quad got that divorce, what happened? Or she was going through it. Soon as she walked away from a bad situation that didn't serve her, what did Toya say? You sure you don't want to work it out? Well, I don't want her coming on a couples trips. And y'all know those are like 3-day shoots. I'm sure they're filming all day, but those are like 3-part episodes. And Quad wouldn't get that money. She was trying to stop that girl's money because she's competitive and she's a jealous ass bitch. And in the words of Tammy Roman, you the same bitch. Remember what she told Evelyn, honey? You still the same bitch. Shout out to Tammy, honey. It's a mess. I would love to hear from Eugene's mother. I think that was a very, very great observation. I would love to hear from like a neutral party, because I don't like the crackhead shit that Eugene does, where he can never let Toya be accountable and responsible for her behavior. He always feels he has to come after and clean up. Well, it's not that bad of what she said to me. And see, this is why I always tell y'all, stop fucking defending him. He doesn't appreciate it. He will get mad at you. And I know y'all heard of these weird ass couples where they actually get mad at you for holding their spouse. I've went through it before. That's why I could speak on it. They actually get mad at you for holding their spouse, or hell, ex-spouse, accountable and responsible for their bad behavior. They will take issue with you. You then become the problem instead of them dealing with the problem. Okay. Ooh, honey, Miss Robinson is cooking today, honey. Yes. So Toya, all throughout the interview, kept trying to allude that Jackie isn't the same person. And to me, she was like, she didn't come out and say this, but she was making it look like Jackie was a better person before Curtis cheated on her. But let's get to the cheating of Jackie and Curtis. Toya, you behaved like Curtis cheated on you. And then you tried to cover it up to act like you cared about Jackie and you was so worried about her. And that season, you didn't really have no storyline, but your taxes, and y'all was still paying it off. And then once y'all paid it off, you had to have a party. Okay. What Contessa say? This bitch has a party if she has to cut her grass. Okay. She has a party if, if the kids have a play date. Toya gonna have a party. Okay. But the same shit you're saying about Jackie, Toya, she could say about you. I'm sure you're not the same person. From seasons 1, 2, and 3, everybody grows. Everybody changes. Some for the better, some for the worse. And, you know, there's some neutral cases too, right? But yeah, that right there is problematic because it's unrealistic. Nobody stays the same. And there's this hard on for Jackie and acting like, well, Jackie is only Heavenly's friend and she cares more about her than Simone. Simone is the childish one, making it seem like Jackie can't be friends with her and Heavenly. Simone has always been jealous of that relationship. She has always. That broke her season 7 when Jackie said, you know, I would be sad and I would walk away from the show if me and Heavenly stopped being cool. And Simone, she didn't like that. She feels like you should bow down to her. Everything is about her and placating and catering to her feelings. You know, forget everybody else. She does a lot of baiting and switching and blaming and yeah. And Heavenly is the fall guy. Heavenly is the scapegoat of this show. Her and Quad. They just switch it every other season. And everybody falls into line. And for Toya to say that, Mimi is a follower. No, bitch. Brandy is a follower of you and Simone. She does not hold y'all accountable and responsible for y'all bad behavior. Okay? She doesn't. She's the follower. You don't like Mimi because you don't want to be called out. And you try to discredit Mimi and say that, oh, she's psychoanalyzing me. And what did your husband say? Because he's messed up just like you. He doesn't want anybody to have a critique or an opinion about him. He said, are you psychoanalyzing me? He said that to Steve. So what if he is? You need to listen, Eugene. You need direction. You need criticism. You need critique. You like to act like you are above the fray. Him and Toya are two peas in a pot, you know, like, and not in a good way. They both do the same toxic shit. They both add to the toxicity of their marriage. You just don't see the shit that Eugene does, or, y'all don't want to call it out, or y'all just want to label him a good man, Savannah. No, he doesn't have boundaries. Okay? And in a lot of ways, he's a coward. He could be a hard-working coward, but nevertheless, he's a coward. Okay, because he's always making excuses for her behavior. So much so, even Cecil admitted, go back and watch he and Eugene's interview with Carlos. Cecil mentioned that whenever they would try to get on Toya, Eugene would take up for her. See, that's why the bitch can't stop talking. She's always interrupting. She feels like she's too big for accountability. He is enabling her bad behavior. He is not good for her. I don't care how long they've been together. I don't care how good it looks on the outside. They do have a beautiful family and they are a beautiful couple. But they got some issues and it's okay. Nobody's perfect. Just admit to it. But stop trying to hold other people accountable and responsible. Because Eugene does that a lot too, where he's either blaming heavily for something or quiet. And that's why they tell you to stay out of the women's business. Okay? There should be some type of boundary between men and women. There should be. Because you don't never see any of the other husbands like overly getting involved. You don't. It be Eugene. And Toya needs to hear what other people have to say about her besides him. So, yeah, I didn't like that. Toya kept trying to act like Steve wasn't cute, and she's so jealous of Mimi. Mimi is a beautiful girl. And not only is she beautiful on the outside, she's beautiful on the inside. Okay? And she knows how to treat people. You don't. You don't. You will disrespect people, to get to that almighty dollar. And I get it. You got to do great TV, but girl, there's another way to go about these things, okay? Let's see what some more people think. Toya is speaking more for King than Quad. Toya won't change. Yeah, but she wants Quad not to talk about Eugene. Another person, Toya has a takeover spirit. She does. Okay? And I don't like that somebody tried to bring heavily into it. What the fuck is this weird ass shit that y'all do where we're talking about one person and you tag, you're it. You got to bring heavily into it. You got to bring Jackie. No, when we're talking about Toya, we're talking about Toya. We are. Another person, fully befriending all of Quad's exes. Yeah, she used Dr. G and Sweet Tea. Okay? Season 10 to get back at Quad. Because she doesn't have it in her to get back at Quad by herself. Okay? Another person says it's the hypocrisy for me. They don't want other people speaking about their relationship, but it's okay to speak about someone else's relationship. Also, friends should hold their friends and themselves accountable in friendships. Get the log out of your own eye before pointing out the speck in someone else's eye. Look, I second that emotion. That is so true. Another person, so she blamed her husband for her outburst at the party. No, ma'am. She has a big problem taking accountability. Yeah, that's why I don't understand why Brandy is up her ass, girl. She showed you who she was. She was cussing your ass out too. And you sitting up here, oh, well, yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am, and, well, Toya, I'm so sorry. Why you apologizing when you didn't do nothing wrong? She was wrong for taking it so far. Another person, girl, just because Mimi doesn't like you doesn't mean she can't stand alone or she is a follower. Yeah, the shit she said about Mimi pertains to her. And Brandy, they're both followers. She's a follower of Simone. Brandy is a follower of her and Simone. The person continues to say, I feel everything negative that she said about you was justified by how terrible you were acting. Yeah. I hope they get her ass at that reunion. I do. I hope they get her ass. Another person says Jackie and Simone's friendship was on thin ice after the Buffy debauchery. Couple that with Jackie's deepening her friendship with Heavenly. It was cracked and the deal was sealed after that. Yeah, some of that is true. Some of that is true. But the problem is Simone wants Jackie all to herself. Okay? That's why she asked Andy at the season 7 reunion before they came out on stage when they was in a dressing room. She said to Andy, would you choose me or Heavenly to be your bestie? Andy looked at her like she was crazy. But they swear Heavenly is a 7 and 8-year-old. No, Simone is childish too. Childish as hell. Because that's like Jackie saying to Andy, should Simone choose me or Toya to be her bestie? You don't see Jackie doing that shit. See, y'all don't give Jackie credit for the shit she actually does right. She's not immature the way that Simone and Toya is. I'm not saying she's perfect and she doesn't do anything wrong. You know, she does things that are wrong, but I don't see her like doing the shit that they do. Another person says, why can't Jackie be friends with both? I hate that. So now I'm not supposed to be friends because you don't care for someone? So immature. Exactly. Another person says, y'all need to stop acting like Simone didn't organize the couple's trip in the hotel where Jackie's husband's cheating scandal took place. Childless husbands' cheating embarrassment are very difficult for most women to forgive, especially when it comes to friends. Let's be honest. Jackie's argument makes sense. Simone always has to get mad at someone for something. She is too vindictive and doesn't know what and how and when to let go of things. And she's evil as hell and rude. Remember on, what was it? Season 10 reunion with Quad. Quad kept telling her don't mention, the situation with her niece and the accident that took place at her home. What did Simone do? Said it anyways and didn't give a fuck. And had a tired ass apology because everybody started dragging her. So, yeah. Another thing that Toya kept lying about during her interview with Carlos King, she kept saying, I even stick up for my enemies. No, you don't. Girl, bye. Another thing I was confused about is Eugene. Eugene said he's a Sagittarius. Toya is an Aries. I thought that he was a Leo. He seems more like a Leo. It says that his birthday is August 9th. I wonder what his real birthday is. Put it in the comments, guys. Oh, and Toya, did I mention this? She kept saying that Dr. Mimi's husband looks so much better than... No, she said Eugene looks better than Dr. Mimi's husband. No, ma'am. Sorry. Eugene is a decent looking man, not ugly at all, but I like Dr. Mimi's man. And y'all stop calling that man Scottie Pippen. But I like Steve. I like him. And I have an issue with the whole thing of, being psychoanalyzed. I remember I had a family member a long time ago. I was trying to have an open and honest and direct conversation with them. And all they could say is, you're trying to psychoanalyze me. No, I'm trying to get to the bottom of the truth. I'm trying to get you to speak truth. Okay? So stop being so worried about being psychoanalyzed and look at the beauty of what the person is doing. They're trying to point something out to you that they want you to address. But see, people like that, they want you to pour syrup on shit and, act like it's pancakes. They want to just keep sweeping shit under the rug until it's a whole damn mess under the rug. So, yeah, that's another reason why I was very triggered by Toya and Eugene and their comments towards Mimi and Steve. Because you all don't want to be held accountable and responsible for your actions. Toya says that network always shows her in a certain light. And she works hard to try to change that. No, you don't. I think this is the thing with people is your authentic self will always show up. It doesn't matter what you are doing. The real you is going to always come out. That part of you that's angry, that part of you that's insecure, that part of you that's petty, all of which you try to cover up with material items, Toya, we still can see you and you don't like that. Whatever Toya is trying to do, it's not giving, and she does not like that because she feels like she's put so much effort in from a material standpoint. It's like, why aren't we buying, what she's cooking? Okay. Carlos calls out calls out Eugene for finally sticking up to Toya. I saw Eugene's face. He didn't like that because Eugene wants to live in this delusional world where he feels like he holds his own in his marriage to Toya. He wants to feel like he always is opinionated and he always, checks her. And he doesn't. See, you can't get anywhere with people that are in denial. Toya mentioned, well, he was cussing and he was cussing. He was cussing, at her. I'm not going to judge him for it though. Cause like I said, I felt like she had went too far, but Eugene is no angel. He was cussing at her. It wasn't just Toya yelling, Carlos mentioned a lot of women want Toya's husband. I think that once again, you want something just because you don't have it. The single people, some of them want to be married because they're not married. There are some married people that want to be single, You always want what you can't have. There is this thing about Eugene. He's a good man. He's a good man, Savannah. I think when it comes to cheating and stuff like that, I could give Eugene some points on that. I don't see him like as a cheater and a liar and, doing all this malicious nigga stuff that the rest of the niggas do, right? But like I told you guys, he doesn't have any boundaries. He doesn't have a backbone. He's in denial about how his wife treats him and he allows it. Just when people hold her accountable, he will, come up against them. Now, this is the part about it, right? People will say, well, he's defending his wife, and I just love how he defends his wife. You can defend something all day, but you defending something or somebody all day, it can still be wrong. You still are enabling that person and helping them to continue with their bad behavior that's making everybody feel so uncomfortable. And you know what I'm saying? Toya's behavior makes people feel a way. Okay? It does. It makes them uncomfortable. Toya her and Eugene did this, as it pertained to the party at their home. they both tried to make it look like, well, yeah, that day, me and Quad and King and, there were some other people at the house. We were up all night playing cards and it was a good day and it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. See, downplaying it. It wouldn't have been that big of a deal had all this stuff not happened on camera. You're filming a reality show and we saw what we saw. You cannot rewrite history. Okay? And I don't like that about them, that unwilling to admit to certain things, and they will always say, yeah, we're not perfect, but y'all can't take any criticism. Y'all can offer it to other people, right? But y'all can't take criticism. Eugene can never just let people hold Toya accountable and responsible. He has to defend her. He has to overly defend himself and say he does stick up for himself. And clearly you don't. Okay, you allow this woman to run amok. Eugene did say something that I like, because I heard this a long time about myself. He said he likes strong women. I'll never forget, I heard this man say that to me. He was like, yeah, I love strong women. And he said, and a lot of people will see you as aggressive, but I like that shit. That shit turned me on. You a go-getter. You don't take no shit. You're a non-conformist. You know what I'm saying? So everything that was so wrong about me, right, according to society and these men out here and the patriarchy of it all, honey, this man, he told me, he was like, I like that shit. And that man, honey, can cook. Okay. Could cook the shit out of some oxtails, honey. Don't Miss Robinson know it. This man could cook like a grandmother. He said his grandmother actually taught him how to cook. So, he know what he talking about. But that shit was so sexy to me. Like, for a man to be like, I like this. I like a little pushback. I don't want a wimp or somebody always letting me have it my way all the time. I like a bit of a challenge. I like that you're outspoken. I like that Eugene said that about Toya. I felt like that's good. That's healthy to me, that he likes that instead of trying to overly control her and put her in a box. So there are some elements of this marriage that is healthy, and I will give them that. Okay? This same man that I'm talking about also said something about my body, because I'm very curvaceous. And, growing up, it was like, I was always a little bit bigger than the other kids. Not fat, but just always shapely and curvy. But, and of course he said this when I was an adult. He was like, and I love your body. Like, you are solid. He was like, damn, everything is right in the right place. So it just goes to show you that, like, society and people can make fun of you for things and, but there will be people that really love, how you're shaped and, certain things about you. So that was cool too. I said, I know you like all these curves, honey. Okay. I could give it to you, but what you gonna do with it, baby? Okay. Another thing is that I noticed Toya got a big ass mouth. I told y'all, and she blurted out something that I think Simone would have wanted to remain private, which is she gives Cecil allegedly 10% of her check. Carlos alluded to Peter Thomas receiving a portion of Cynthia's check for Real Housewives of Atlanta. Peter helped Cynthia though, so look, I feel like it's only right she break him off something proper, like, honey. Okay, I understand that. I feel like the men from Married to Medicine should get paid because they do a lot more filming than the Real Housewives' husbands. So they really should get some type of stipend, honey. Okay, Andy, work it out, baby. Or we can go into my other idea, married to lesbians. I told y'all they all belong to somebody on the show. Simone belongs to Heavenly and Jackie. Toya belongs to Simone. Okay. Quiet belongs to Angel. Angel belongs to Quiet. Who does Mimi belong to? Probably Jackie and Heavenly and Quiet. Come on, Andy Cohen, baby. We can have a different type of show. We can get them ratings up. Okay? Another problem I noticed with Eugene is, like I said before, guys, he doesn't admit when things hurt him with the whole penis thing. And, Toya mentioning that, being married a long time, you realize their penis doesn't grow. She was making a general observation, but the ladies could, easily say she was talking about her husband. She do throw shade at him, but he has to know that the women will weaponize that, okay? They're going to weaponize that. They're going to use that to fight with. Just how Toya uses, different things that the women go through on the show to fight with. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. So the problem starts with your wife clowning you or like alluding to clowning you. Because who the hell else she's been married to? It did sound very personal, like she was talking about your penis. But like I said, once again, he tried to overly defend her. Well, she didn't really say it. Nigga, it came from her. Okay? He blamed Heavenly and Quad. Because, like I said, they are the show's scapegoats. And Jackie. I don't like how Eugene talked about he's in text messages. Heavenly said she didn't know that Toya was going to read the messages on the show. Because they have their own little private text thread outside of the show. That way they could talk about different issues and filming and, just stuff that really wasn't supposed to be on the show, which is a boundary. Toya doesn't care about boundaries. She doesn't have any, especially when it comes to paying for this $3 million house that her ass had no business getting, but I digress. Eugene does not talk about the context of it. He doesn't mention what Toya said to Heavenly. It's very one-sided. And I told you, anything that's one-sided is double-minded. It's of the devil. You can't just blame one person. Toya was talking shit to Heavenly about her purse and trying to make it look like her purse is fake and trying to embarrass her and clown her. The other ladies was laughing. She tried to embarrass her on the show with it. Why are you not bringing that up, nigga? Okay? Well, he just defended. See, that's what I'm talking about. Okay? Stop overly defending your wife. She's not always right. Toya says she has a conviction when she does wrong by Eugene. I call bullshit because it took you forever and a day to apologize. In the one scene, after the party y'all had, he had to do most of the apologizing. When the group tries to tell you you're wrong for, how you talk to your husband. Okay, Heavenly was trying to give you some good girlfriend advice. You didn't want it. You wanted to put her out. You wanted to put Mimi out. You wanted to put Brandy out. You didn't end up putting Brandy out because she kissed your ass. And that's, that's the type of friend you want. You want yes men, which is why, that's why you treated Anila, girl, the way that you treated her. But, honey, Anila turned on your ass and ended up being Heavenly and Quad's friend. Now you back over there with Anila now that she's not on the show and you could be the superior again to her inferior. So, yeah, I see what Toya does. I didn't like that Toya and Eugene, what was that, season 9, got so offended by the U-Haul joke. It was a joke. Y'all make jokes. Like, get out of here. Child, these people are a mess, child.